Before we start, I just want to say that I'm not a native English speaker, so I'm just awkwardly trying to read a script, which is gonna sound horrible, but I didn't know how else to make this video, so please bear with me and let's get into it. So I played this 2v2 S&D tournament last year. I was spectating my teammate in a round 11 1v1. She was about to check the bomb as I heard the guy drop down behind her. I quickly told her to get back. Shortly after, the opponent walked past and we won the game. This situation wouldn't have ended up in our favor if we didn't hear him drop down, so that got me thinking, how can you stop that from happening? I went into a private match so I could test silent dropping in World War II. For those of you who don't know what silent dropping is, it basically is an object that you can fall down on without taking any damage or making any sound. Kind of like the mattress on Afghan if you played Modern Warfare 2. Here's a quick example of the former Cut for Promo player, Fantasy, explaining what silent dropping exactly is.
So you can jump up it, but what else? Well, since it's a silent drop, it means you take no damage, so it's the most used way to escape from top A. There are others that I'll go over in a minute, but they're also risky. But anyway, if people know you're on top A, you can just jump onto it without them knowing. So I'll now go over some more risky ways to get down from top A. Firstly, you can drop on this window which you have to climb into. It's silent of course, but once you drop off the window you will make sound. I'll just say that I very rarely ever try and use these because the chances are you'll probably mess it up and die. But if you jump here on this little tiny slant and hit it right, then you won't take any damage. A slightly safer way is to mantle or auto climb it. And now the hardest way is this auto climb. If you could get this right every time, it would be so amazing. So here's something else you should know. The B site has the biggest silent radius out of any map. If you're on top sandbags or the glitch roof, you can just jump near the truck and take no damage or make any sound.
As you could see, there are also other techniques to get down from top A. One of them involves hitting a tiny slanted piece of the broken wall to cancel your fall damage. Kind of like in Fortnite whenever you slide down a mountain so you don't take any damage. The other technique he used was the mantle. So you can cancel your momentum by either hitting a slant or climbing. I remember back in Modern Warfare 2, you could pull out your equipment as soon as you hit the floor to not get any fall damage. Now I haven't really tested this one as of now, but it wasn't practical back then, so I doubt it would be now. So how can we stop fall damage in World War II? The easy answer would be to simply play with energetic, as it stops you from taking fall damage. So to be 100% silent, you would need to round mountain and energetic, which no one should ever do, cause hunker and scopes are definitely the way to go. So I started testing the different techniques we used in older CODs to see if any of them worked. Needless to say, I found something, hence I'm making this video. So let's go over mantling first. I used to do this rush route back when Gibraltar was in the S&D rotation. As you can see, you still take fall damage even when you mantle. So I fiddled around with this potential scenario where the bomb is down at B and you want to jump down and kill the diffuser. If you drop down normally, you will make a sound that he could hear and potentially lose you the round. Now, as we know from the Gibraltar clip, you will take fall damage when you're sprinting, but when you don't sprint, you won't make any noise. I'm pretty sure this happens due to the momentum of your character model. Now this can also be used on London docks as you're dropping down from fire to docks. Of course you could also just sprint to get onto the box without making any sound, which is much easier. If you don't want to be seen and still make no sound, you can simply jump onto the ladder. This obviously can be used on any ladder in this game if need be. So that's pretty much the only jump you need to know on London docks. Also, you don't make any noise on Ardennes Forest if you just simply drop down instead of jumping down from different objects. But other than that, these two maps have no buildings you would drop down from, so there's pointless in me making any examples. Now USS Texas is a different story. I see people dropping down and give away their position all the time. A simple fix for this map is just to run into the railing and then press X to mantle, instead of just doing it normally. This will let you mantle over instead of on top of the railing and lets you drop down from a lesser height. Now onto the last map, St. Marie. We'd already covered the one on the B bomb site, but what about the other drops? From top wine you could do the same mantle as on USS and make no noise. Same goes for top white. Now the other two windows on top post, however, still won't be silent. The one on the court side, you can make use of a jump to land on the wall. If you drop down from there, you won't make any sound. This can easily be done with the mountain division. Knowing how to strafe jump makes this a lot easier though. If you don't know how to strafe jump, just let me know in the comments and I will make a video about that. On a side note, you could also do that from top wine, but that's just making it harder than it really needs to be. Unfortunately, there is nothing to jump to from the other window, other than the car in front of the white building. And even if you manage to get that jump, you still will make sound. Luckily, I found a way to drop down from that window without making any noise. It was more of an accident really, but I'm glad I found it. What you need to do is land on a little slant on the side of the road. It looks quite tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty reliable. If you made it this far, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you learned a thing or two. Peace.